The wind carried dust across the quiet roadside diner as the sun stretched long morning rays over the small town. Motorcycles rumbled in the distance, the engines echoing in the stillness like rolling thunder. Inside the diner's parking lot, a teenage girl stepped out of a faded old pickup truck. Her jacket, clearly oversized and worn with time, hung loosely on her shoulders. She clutched its collar almost protectively, as if the fabric itself held something sacred. She took a hesitant breath, unaware of the eyes already locked on her. A group of bikers leaned near their motorcycles, their leather jackets sharp and polished, their boots heavy on the pavement. They watched her, and suddenly a burst of loud laughter exploded from them. Not cruel at first, but amused, dismissive. Her jacket looked old, mismatched, unfitting, even silly to them. But that moment, that laughter, was about to shift into stunned silence, because on the back of her jacket, just below the frayed shoulder seam, was a patch they had not yet noticed. And once they did, the air around them would change. Before we go deeper into the story, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that every person carries a story worth hearing, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Light of Kindness. It truly helps these stories reach more hearts. The girl's name was Kara Whitlock, 17 years old, quiet, reserved, and still healing from wounds most couldn't see. She lived with her grandmother in a tiny house just past the county's edge. Her father, Marlon Whitlock, had been a name spoken with honor in some places and whispered with trouble in others. He had once been a respected leader of a motorcycle group known not for rebellion but for rescue, a group that protected those who couldn't protect themselves, a group that helped families, donated to shelters, and carried meals to those forgotten by society. They were called Iron Shepherds, and their emblem, a silver wing wrapped around a service star, was worn by only a few. Kara's father died when she was 11. Some said it was an accident, some said betrayal. Kara had only pieces of the truth, lost in voices that argued and stories adults tried to shield her from. But she never let go of the jacket he left her, his jacket, his story, his legacy. For a moment, Kara simply nodded and walked inside. She didn't need their apology, not really, but something in her heart felt different now, like the world had just recognized a piece of her she thought was invisible. Inside the diner, things weren't easy at first. Kara struggled remembering table numbers, carrying plates without shaking, and balancing trays. Customers were impatient, the cook got frustrated, the manager was stern. But she tried. Day by day, her steps became steadier, her voice clearer. Her confidence grew in quiet, almost unnoticeable amounts. Weeks passed. The bikers returned now and then, not to mock but to greet her politely, nodding respectfully when they saw her. Their change was subtle but real. One afternoon, as sunlight poured warmly through the front windows, an older man walked in. He moved slowly, his back hunched slightly, his eyes tired but bright in a way that suggested he was no ordinary passerby. When he saw Kara's jacket hanging on the coat rack near the register, he stopped completely. He asked softly, "Who wears that jacket?" Kara stepped forward. "I do." The man turned toward her, and the look in his eyes was not pity, but memory. Deep memory. He introduced himself as Wyatt Crowley, once second in command to the Iron Shepherds, a man who had ridden alongside her father. He told her stories she had never heard, about how her father stopped fights instead of starting them, how he protected children during a community shelter fire, how he rode miles in the rain just to deliver medicine to an isolated farm family, how he believed in kindness more fiercely than most believe in themselves. Kara listened, tears forming without fully falling. For the first time, her father's legacy wasn't a blurry photograph of a memory. It was real. It was living. It had weight and honor and warmth. Wyatt placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "He would be proud of you, proud that you're still standing." Kara's chest tightened. She'd never heard those words spoken to her before. The bikers at a corner table watched in silence, understanding something meaningful was unfolding before them. From that day forward, Kara didn't shrink when she wore the jacket. She wore it the way it was meant to be worn, with quiet pride. Soon the diner adopted a small tradition. Every few Saturdays, biker groups, different kinds from different places, came to share meals there in peace. The loud, flashy ones gradually softened. The rowdy laughter shifted to warm conversations. The walls that separated groups, generations, past mistakes, and misunderstandings slowly faded. It didn't happen at once. It didn't happen perfectly. But it happened. And at the center of that new beginning was a teenage girl who thought she didn't matter. But she did. She always did. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. It truly encourages us to continue bringing more meaningful, heartfelt stories to the world. Special request, please comment "Kindness lives on" if you believe love and compassion still exist in this world. Kara kept her father's jacket, not as a shield, but as a reminder. Sometimes the stories we carry are what heal the world around us, and sometimes all it takes to change a moment is noticing the patch someone else is carrying.